Ashley Guerrero, and I am a fourth grade teacher in North Texas. I have my master's degree in educational technology and leadership, and I'm actually currently pursuing a second master's degree in library sciences. My YouTube channel is full of technology tutorials and tips and tricks and just different creative ideas to design your digital workspace. Once we're able to get back into the classroom and the school year starts back up, I will be doing videos over classroom organization and a room tour and things like that. But for now, my YouTube channel is going to be full of technology tutorials that may benefit you. If you haven't already, please hit the subscribe button and make sure you hit the notification bell to be notified of any future videos that I post. Today's video is going to be all about how I customize my MacBook desktop. So I'm talking folder icons, wallpaper, and things like that. I'm sure you can do something similar using an HP. I just don't know how because I'm not an HP or a Windows user, but I'm sure you can Google it and there may be a tutorial out there or even instructions on how you can do something similar. So without further ado, let's get started with this video. Okay, so in today's video, I am going to do an in-depth walkthrough over how I set up my folder icons to be these cute little circles with text on top of them, as well as how to find my desktop wallpapers and things like that that I design. All right, so to begin, I am using PowerPoint. I will also put the timestamp in the description box of how you can create this in Google Draw in case you don't have PowerPoint. So with PowerPoint, I'm going to go to File and then New Presentation. And then I am going to select both of these text boxes by holding down Shift and then clicking on each one. Then pressing delete on my keyboard. I'm going to go ahead and X out of this design ideas on the right. And then I'm going to go to File and Page Setup. And I want this to be a square canvas. So I am going to do 8 by 8. So 8 inches by 8 inches. And then click OK. And you may have to click on Custom in order to select this sizing, but you should just be able to type it in. Then click OK. And then you can just click Scale Up. And now you have a square canvas to work with. The next thing you're going to want to do is insert a circular image or whatever shape, honestly, that you want your icon to be. You just need to make sure that nothing goes past this square canvas. You want it to maintain this perfect square shape. So you're going to go to File. You're going to go to Insert. And then Shape, and then let's do an oval. Now here's a trick: if you hold down Shift while you're creating the shape, it keeps it as a perfect circle. So again, I'm sizing it to where it doesn't go past my square border. All right, now I'm going to go to Shape Format, and I want this to be a white circle. So I'm going to go ahead and fill it white, and then I don't want an outline, but now it's kind of hard to see my circle. So for the sake of just being able to see it, I am going to change the slide background to be just a darker gray so that way I can kind of see my circle. All right, so I'm going to close out of that for now. And now I have my circle here. All right, so now I'm going to insert a text box. And I'm going to name this icon School. And I'm going to change it to KA Market Street, and let's size it at about 260. All right, now I'm going to center it onto that circle. All right, so now I want to give it sort of a rainbow effect. So I am going to highlight all of the text, and I'm going to go to More Colors. I'm going to make this a little bit bigger. I'm going to slide my slider this way. And let's start off in orange. I'm going to go to orange, and then I'm going to highlight all of the letters except for the S. Go back to More Colors, do more of a yellow. Oops. And then just keep moving. And you could totally do just like an ombre. Like you don't have to do rainbow. I've seen some really pretty ombres. So you would start with a darker shade of green and then move your way to like a lighter shade of green. I thought those were super pretty when I saw those. And actually I want this to be more closer to the blue. I'm shifting the colors pretty quickly because I want a lot of color or a range of colors in them. Let's move towards a purple. It's more like a blue. And then let's see. I think I'm going to give this one that purple color. And then we will give this one more of a pink color. So it's just playing around however you like it. So that looks good to me. And then I'm also going to add a drop shadow. So I'm going to go to Shape Format, and then Format Pane, and then click on Text Options. So you always have Shape Options, which will give the effect to this rectangular shape, or you have the Text Options, which gives the effect to just the text. So I'm going to click on the second tab, and then click on Shadow. Click on this first drop shadow. And then I am going to turn up the transparency because I don't want it to be super dark. And then I'm going to lower the distance to 2. And I'm going to lower the blur to about 3. All right, so that looks good. All right, so now I'm going to select the text as well as select the circle behind it. And you can see that I have both of them selected because you see 2 rectangular or 2 square type boxes. All right, now I'm going to go to Arrange and then Group. And so now they are both grouped. And it's okay that this gray background is still back here because I don't have it selected as part of the group, if that makes sense. So I'm going to right click and I'm going to make sure, so one troubleshooting tip, you may accidentally just click on this school and save it as a picture, but you need to make sure you have the group selected. So if that's the case, just make sure the entire square is taking up the canvas, if that makes sense. Right click and then click Save as Picture. And then I am just going to name this School Icon. And then click Save. Okay, so I'm going to create a new folder for the sake of this icon. So I am going to click on the school icon that we just created. I'm going to go to Edit and then Copy. And then I'm going to right click on this folder and I'm going to click Get Info. Then I'm going to click on the folder and make sure you see this little outline selected. And then I'm going to go to Edit and Paste. So now you can see this school folder appear. And you can always adjust the size of your folders by right clicking and then going to Show View Options. And then this is where you can change the icon size as well as the grid spacing. Then you'll just continue that process for all other folder icons you want to create. My biggest piece of advice, sometimes I get messages saying that their folders have come out blurry or that it's pasting weird. Make sure that your text box isn't bigger than your circle. Try to make it not bigger than your circle. So you may have to resize your circle a little bit in order for that to happen. But as much as possible, keep your text smaller than your circle if you can. So you can see right here how this box, the corners of it are a little bit bigger than the circle itself. And I can't really make my circle any bigger. So I may need to decrease the font size. So let me make it 240 and move it down. So you can still see some of the triangles hanging out. Let's do 220. So and you can see that's a little better and the text box isn't sticking out quite as far out of the circle. And here is, if you're willing to do the extra step, here is another way that you can make your text bigger without sacrificing the space and having to worry about the text box being bigger. So make your font however big you want. So let's say we make it 260. And then right click on just that box alone, not the group. If you need to ungroup them to make sure, then do that. Or you can duplicate the slide and then you can delete the circle behind it so you make sure that you have just the text. Right click on that and click Save as Picture. And then just name it School Label or whatever you want to name it. And then you can actually delete this text box and go to your desktop or your downloads, wherever you saved it. And I'm just going to drag it and drop it inside. And now I'm going to crop this image because now it's an image and I can adjust its size and the area around it, versus with the text box I couldn't. So you see how I'm cropping it as close to the word as possible, and then I'm going to resize it just a little bit more, and then I may have to do that again. So again, I'm going to go to crop. I'm going to bring this handlebar in, bring this one down, and this one over, and then deselect it, and I'm going to have to make it just a little bit smaller. But now it's bigger and it fits inside of the circle. So again, now I'm going to select both of them, group them together, save as picture, go to my downloads, and I'm going to name this School Icon version 2 just so you can see the difference. So let's look. This was the first one. And then this was the second one. So even though right now you can't tell a difference, you'll be able to whenever I upload it to that folder. So let's go back. I'm going to click on New Folder. I'm going to click Get Info. And then I need to make sure I have my folder open in Preview. And I'm going to go to Edit and Copy. And then I'm going to paste it onto the square. So let me show you the difference between the two folders. So let's do the first version that I did, which was this one. And let's go to Edit and Copy. And then let's click Get Info on this one. And I'm just doing Command V to paste. So do you see how the folder is smaller than this folder? And that was just because I saved the text as an image first, cropped it so that the text box wasn't way bigger than the circle, and then pasted it or inserted it into PowerPoint and trimmed down the edges of it. So if you wanted to put in that little extra work, that's totally up to you. And that's how you can make it as big as possible versus these being a little bit smaller. All right, so now I'm going to show you how you can do something similar inside of Google Draw. So you'll want to go to your Drive, and then you'll want to click on New, More, and then Google Drawings. And then you'll want to go to File, Page Setup, and Custom, and let's do 8 by 8, and then click Apply. All right, so now you'll want to insert a circle, and again, you can hold down Shift and drag, and it makes it the perfect size. I'm going to hold down Shift again while I'm dragging so that it keeps its dimensions. All right, then I'm just going to give it a white background and no border. All right, now I'll need to insert a text box, and let's see, which font do I want to use? Let's search for some more fonts. Let's show handwriting fonts, and let's see which ones are trending. That one looks fun. Let's do this one. Click OK. And I'm going to make it 36 for now. We'll probably have to make it a little bit bigger. And then I'm centering the text, and then I'm also putting it in the middle of the text box. So you see how the cursor moved down. And let's do the same text. So let's do the word school. And let's make it, let's try 120. Let's go a little bit bigger. I'm going to have to widen my text box a little bit. All right. Let me make sure I'm in the middle of my canvas. There we go. And now I'm going to kind of do the same thing. I'm going to highlight all of the text, and I'm going to click on my fill color and go to custom. And let's start off with orange. click OK, highlight all of the word or letters after it, click on custom, and I'm just going to keep moving my slider along until I get it to a color that I like. And then let's see, there's that one. 2 more colors. Let's do a purplish. And I'm gonna actually move this a little bit down. And then let's do a pink. Okay, and then you'll want to click on the text box and go to Tools, go to Format, and then Format Options. We're going to click on the drop shadow, and then if you click on the down arrow, you can adjust the transparency as well as the distance, so that's how far it is from the letters. You can adjust the angle, and then how far you want the blur of the shadow to go. So let's do, that looks good. All right, so I'm going to close out, and I am finished. So the good thing about Google Draw is you can just download the entire thing. I'm going to name this school icon. So I'm just going to go to File, Download as a PNG image. And you can see when I open this one, the background is already transparent for me. And let's practice adding it to a folder. So I'm going to right click and click New Folder. And then I'm going to click Get Info. I'm going to open up the one I just closed out of. I'm going to click Edit and Copy. And then I am going to click on the folder and press Command V on my keyboard. And there it is on my desktop. So cute. If your icons aren't showing up on your folders, especially I've ran into this problem if you've already had custom icons and now you're pasting new custom icons, you'll just need to restart your computer after you paste it onto your folder. Like it will look like it won't show up, but it really is once your computer restarts. All right, I'm going to delete these folders now to clear them off of my desktop. And now I'm going to show you where you can get all of these backgrounds that I create. Okay, to get all of the backgrounds that I offer, you can go to bit.ly/ag backgrounds, and I'll also put the link in the description box below. And then press enter on your keyboard, and here is a little blurb that I would like for you to read first, all about how I've created the wallpapers myself and they're to be used for personal use only. And so then you can click on desktop, and I'll also have a folder for phone wallpapers. So inside of the desktop, you will see all different versions and designs of wallpapers that I've created. And so this is the one that I'm using currently. And what you'll do is you'll just click on the download button. And then once it downloads, save it to wherever you would like on your computer. And then you will want to right click on it and click Set as Desktop Picture. And that's how it'll become the background on your desktop. Oh, one other tip. Someone was wanting to know how to take the names off the folder titles to where it's just the circle. So I'll show you how to do that, but here's the reason why I don't do that. Let's say you had your Finder open and you had your desktop right here. You wouldn't be able to see really what the folders were if you don't keep the names by it, if that makes sense. Let me show you an example. Currently, I have a folder. I don't think there's anything in this one right now. Yeah. So currently I have this folder called Pictures. I'm actually going to duplicate this folder. And so now you see there's Pictures Copy. Let's say I didn't want this name in it. I can right click and then I can go to Rename. Now I can delete the text and I'm just going to put a space to fill up that part right there. So now you can see there are no words beneath it or anything like that. So even though it looks cute like that on your desktop, for me, it wasn't functional because I use my Finder and organize files a lot by using this window. And you can see now that I took the name off of that folder, I have to know or have really great vision to know what that folder icon says in order to make sure I'm moving things into that folder correctly. So, like I said, I like to keep the name below it just because it really helps me to see whenever I'm organizing and saving files. I hope this video was helpful for y'all, and I cannot wait to see the desktop creations that y'all come up with.